everybody, and welcome back to the Starving Artist Development Podcast, where we talk to different cultural artists here in the city about the highs, the lows, the wins, the losses, probably career pivots, and how they're using their creativity to move the city forward. Of course, I am your host, Gabrielle Carruthers. Today, I am joined by a longtime friend. We go way back, like 4 flats in the Cadillac. We really do go way back, like way back.
Yeah.
My fellow DSA achiever, class of '07. Oh no, oh wait.
I was 08. Yeah, I was 08.
I don't know. I feel like we still graduated together. And first off, let me just say this about today's guest. I call him the pod father. Like, if you need anything podcast related from the bottom to the top, from the rooter to the tutor, I always consider JG as like my top person. Like, whenever I have questions about anything podcast related. He is a podcast host and producer. He is the founder of Audio Wave Network. He has curated, produced, and pushed out so many different podcasts over the years. He has pretty much earned his title as the Podfather, not just in the city of Detroit, but just as a podcast expert in general. Definitely want to take my hat off to him, but I would like to welcome my very special guest, Mr. JG. Everybody loves JG Galloway. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Great introduction. Great introduction. I appreciate that.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And that was
Thank
fire.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember way back in the water, should I say, wade in the water, when you gave me the opportunity to actually come on your show to promote something that I was doing with Kevin and Tashif. And it was for coffee and trap music. And I
Yeah.
came as a guest for the NWP podcast, and I had a ball. I had a lot of fun on that episode. Yeah, it was a long time.
Now that was a
Mm-hmm.
long time ago. That's when we
Yeah,
probably
really.
first moved into the studio too.
Yep. And
Yeah.
that's when I first started podcasting too, when I first launched my first podcast Jimmy taught me, and then of course went on a hiatus, and here we are back at the ranch. But it's definitely good to be back on the mic. And like I said, I've always considered you the pod father. Anything podcast related, you were always like the man. You were always the person to go to. And like I said, if you wanted to do anything, whether it was a live show, it was a pre-recorded show, or if you needed any type of audio engineering done, call JG. He is your guy. He is literally your guy. So let's hop into these questions, because we haven't talked in a long time. It's been a minute. Yep, it's been a minute. But of course, I know with time comes what, marriage and kids and everything else, and
Life.
life.
It is all. Come on now.
Yep. But hey, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So let's talk about some stuff. So like I said, as the pod father, I want you to take me back to the moment you realized that podcasting was actually working for you.
Oh man. I would say, and I tell people all the time, like, podcasting to me is never about money, but that first check we got, we was like, this is NWP days. We were still in the basement. You know, it wasn't glam. We were having fun. Like, we would just come on Friday nights, get together, and just talk. We used to come together, and I got a knack for kind of hustling, like talking to people or just pushing our show forward, and that's what I was doing. So I was reaching out to companies, reaching out to providers, and they would pay us like 10 cents per listen or 50 cents per listen or per download. And our first check was like, I think it was a 10 cents kind of back end check, but it was for $2.67. And I was like, oh, they're going to pay us to just come in here and kick it. So that's when the light bulb went off. Was like, all right, like, let's just keep doing this. Let's just keep doing this, keep going, and keep trying to, make this a thing where it's like we're making I looked at it as a second job. Like, let's make supplemented income from podcasting.
Okay. Well, I know there are a lot of people that are looking into jumping into podcasting now. Like originally back when, it was starting out like around 2015, 2016, it was known, but it wasn't popular at the time, right? Because we were still doing like audio podcasting versus now today we have audio and video podcasting. And then we also have a lot of different celebrities capitalizing off of audio and video podcasting, which for me, I feel like it's a lot different. It's a lot different versus when,
It's a completely different ball game 10 years ago. 10 years ago, like I'm audio guy. I come from audio. I come from a background of like recording our podcast just strictly audio. We used to have the crazy part is we started recording with a camcorder, but we used to put the lens over the camera because we never needed the footage, and the footage used to look kind of crazy. Everybody was never in the scene together, so that was our microphone. Was a camcorder. We used to just take that audio, strip it from the video, and post it. Which I wish I knew now what I did 10 years ago. It's like started recording all the shows, but the landscape is different. The landscape for podcasters is completely different. Everybody kind of looks at this as like a platform to get to something else. Like it's, oh yeah, I'm gonna get famous from this and then I'm gonna be an influencer. It's like, I get it. Like I respect it. Like I respect the creativeness. I respect all the content creators. I respect these folks, but I feel like that's where it blurs the line and people think podcasting is oversaturated. Some people are really just doing this to oversaturate, like just to put content out. And again, like I said, I respect it, but I think like those people that actually want a podcast and are interested in that lane, it kind of intimidates them from doing it, which it shouldn't. I mean, don't let anybody intimidate you, but at the same time, it's a very crowded market. You just gotta record. Like, don't be scared. Don't compare yourself. Just keep your head down and record. Like, come in and just hit record.
And there's a certain level of not just consistency, but discipline you have to have as a podcaster, because I know there are times where you might not feel as creative, even in like the planning process, the pre-production, the post-production, and coming up with topics off the fly. Because again, originally when podcasts first started out, it was something fun to do. You enjoyed it and you really didn't have a solid plan. It was just a matter of, hey, I want to get together with my friends. I want to, break bread and just have good conversations. And now it really is about getting famous off of a platform, or even, you know, celebrities that hop onto these platforms as a means to kind of like dog other people out, instead of like taking the time out to like understand where people are coming from. And for me, I feel like as a podcaster, it can be draining after a while, right? Like you get to a point where you're like, okay, well, this is supposed to be fun. Like I should go in and be able to do this, but other people are not making it, fun anymore. And now it does feel kind of oversaturated, where it's just a lot of people with an opinion, but not a lot of people actually building community with podcasting.
Yeah, no, you're completely spot on. I think, and that's for like blocking out the noise. You have to do it. Like if you want a podcast, find a person you want to podcast with and just sit down and podcast. Like everything else will like literally flow naturally. Like topics, yeah, it's hard to come up with topics, but there's also so many avenues and ways you can find out topics and flush out ideas and pull out things to talk about. The celebrity influence of it all, or the cultural influence of it all, is going to always be there in every industry. When I started podcasting, you had celebrities kind of already in the game, like, but they were smaller at the time, but you had the Charlemagne the God, the Andrew Schultz, Kid Fury and Crystal, they were like podcasters, so they weren't really known, but these things already existed. These people already existed. It's just really just finding out what you're doing it for. Like find out what, like for podcasters out there, find out what you want to do it for. Like if you're doing it for money and fame, then buckle up, because it's hard. It's hard to get that. Like it's hard to get money and fame from it. But if you're doing it just to put out good content and you enjoy it and you're having fun, then do it. Like no one will ever know the difference. Like even if you're having fun, it's like, hey, one day I'm gonna make some money. Like when you having fun, you're going to make money. I didn't seek out to be like, hey, I want to be a podcast millionaire. It was like, nah, like I love my day job. I'm gonna have fun with my friends and make some funds. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's where it really came from. It's even with the podcast network, it wasn't out of, oh, I'm gonna do this to make money. There was no podcast studios around me, and it was like corporations and companies were like, well, we'll come. Like originally, I was trying to get signed as a podcaster. I wanted NWP to be on a podcast network, to be like signed to one of these networks to do all of the back end work I was doing. So when one of these networks told me like, how many podcasters you know in your city, and I was just like, why? That's a crazy question. Why are you asking me that question? And it was just like, yeah, we're popping up satellites. We have a blank LA, blank Atlanta. Like we're popping up these satellite studios, and that's why we're looking. So it was just like, why would I give that to y'all when I could just do it myself? Like I'm already doing the groundwork for my show. It's like, let me just take these talents and put it toward other people. And that's how the network was born, where it was just like, I know people that want a podcast. I know people that are looking for an outlet. I know people that are looking for a space and a creative person to talk to about their ideas. Why not just make it me?
No, I feel that. And Detroit has always had a way of producing people who pretty much create something out of nothing. And of course, I know you always keep Detroit, right? So how does that energy show up as a producer for the Audio Wave Network? How do you continue to move the city forward with your podcast?
And the first thing is always keeping my studio in the city. Like that was huge for me, and it was one of the first things you asked me before we press record was, "Is your studio in the city?" It will always be. Like there, it's I couldn't, even if someone told me, "Hey, you can have this studio for free forever," you just gotta. It's in this city. It's like, nah. Like I'm cool. I want the culture to speak. Like when you walk outside, you're on Warren or you're on Mac. Like I want you to be in like where I'm from. I'm from the East Side. I live 3 minutes away from my studio currently. So one, to answer your question, that's one way I show up as a producer from Detroit is being in the city, being from the city. The second way is like even starting the network. My whole concept was giving Detroit a microphone. Like that's the groundwork for Audio Wave Network was putting Detroit a podcast mic in front of the city. And I feel like I accomplished it. Being 10 years in the game, I feel like I did. Like if I was to be like, all right, y'all, I'm done today. It's no more. I'm completely fine with my accomplishments. Like I think I could retire. They could have a Hall of Fame parade. Like I'm proud of what I've done in the city. Like I'm proud of this. I'm proud of the podcasters we produce. I'm proud of the events we've had. The shows that are continuing, the shows that branched off to something else, people careers that were launched to go to do something else from podcasting. It's like that's a badge of honor for me. Like that's what it was for. It's if podcasting never made me a dime, like I'm completely satisfied with what I've.
Yeah. And I've seen how hard you've worked over the years, just from, inception to conception to just even now, like, pushing your network forward and always keeping the city of Detroit in mind. You were a communications major at DSA, right? Like that was your thing. It was always like ingrained in you, like, if one way or another, I'm going to use my voice in order to do some type of good, some type of excellence. And like I said, I know for me, like just watching you and watching your journey and watching how you've maneuvered as a podcast producer, as a network founder, as an audio engineer, like you have found so many different ways to make podcasting one profitable but also approachable, right? And for a lot of people with podcasting, everybody is so, and I'm not going to say everybody, but most people now, especially on threads, when I read some of the group chats, they're anticipating the what if it doesn't work out, or what type of equipment do I need, or what should I talk about. And there are a lot of experts, on podcasting, but it's refreshing to just hear somebody finally say, like, you know what, just F the structure. Do you like podcasting? And if you do, just do it, right? Because everybody else, like I said, they have an opinion. They're going to tell you, like, oh, you need to your KPI and blah, blah. And it's like, but do you like doing it? Do you
You
like doing
know,
it? And if you do, just do it.
when I started, like I told you, we started from a camcorder. I remember one of the first, like, somebody booked me to have a conversation. It's like a big conversation in the city. This is like kind of right after we started the network. And I know that my opinion is not a popular one. I will tell somebody to really record a podcast off AirPods and drop it. Like, drop it. Like,
Yeah.
what are we waiting? Like, why? If you don't think, if you don't know that if you don't know that you like this or not, why are you gonna spend $100 on a microphone? Like, why would you do that? Like, what it really wouldn't make sense. Or if you're doing it based on public opinion, get that public opinion ASAP. So drop the dirty audio joint and then figure it out. Like, you don't have to. It's not I need to run a Best Buy. I need to get a soundboard. It's like, you're wasting your money. Like, it's so many people that ask me, and I'll give everyone the same answer. I'll be like, look, you could come use the studio for your first time for free. The reason why is because I want to make sure you like doing this before you pay me. Because
Thank
once
you.
you pay me, you're gonna be paying. Like, you're gonna pay studio time. Like, that's what it is. But I'll make sure you get a good experience first. Like, I'll take out every technical feat that's on your mind. So where to post it, how to post it. You ain't got to worry about anything technical because you're coming to the studio. So it's just like, I'll take these things off of you. So all you have to do is show up creatively. You know what I'm saying? So that way, if it's like, man, I hated that. Like, I didn't like the way my voice sounded. I didn't like the way I looked. I hated the subject. It's like, okay, like, I'll talk to you about it too. Like, I'm not going to charge you to be like, hey, you have to now pay me to fix your podcast. It's like, no, look, because the thing about a customer, and this is, I don't really count people as customers, more like clients. But the thing about a person is, you want them comfortable in making the best product that they want to make. Like, I don't want you to just come in here and be wasting your time, wasting your money. It's like, nah, I give out free sessions because I feel it here that if you want to do this, you'll continue to do it, regardless if you come to me or not. So it's like, let's figure out if you want to do it first. Let me take the years of experience I got and kind of point you in a good direction or give you a good jump start so that you can be like, all right, I'm locked in now. I got it. Like, even if you don't come back to me, you be like, JG, I appreciate all the information you gave me. I'm good now. It's like, cool. Like, I'm there's no sweat off my back. The hour and a half, 2 hours that it took, we're locked in. Like, I'm good with it.
Listen, I mean, like I said, it's refreshing to hear somebody who has been in the game like as long as you've been in the game, and to like really give people an opportunity to figure out if podcasting is a good fit for them, right? Because like you said, starting out, like I remember starting my first podcast, I used a Canva template that I created. I took a picture in a hotel, used that for my podcast cover, make sure that it was measured correctly,
Right, the right
added
measurement.
some text over it, and would record my podcast with my Mac, the Audacity app, and no microphone the first 3 years, just to see, right? And now, everybody recommends like, oh, you need fancy equipment, you need lighting, you need uplighting, you need this, you need that. And it's like, but usually people drop out after the first 10 to 15 episodes.
My main piece of advice for people that's always about to start podcasting is create 10 to 20 episodes. If you can create 10 to 20 episodes for your idea, for your concept, then you got something. If you struggle to get to 10, you might not have anything. And that's okay. Like, You just got to go back to your episode and keep working. Like it's not the end of the world, but it's just like use these tools and these things to like kind of make something work for you.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Now, what was a project that you were like absolutely proud of when you were in the process of building your network?
Project that I was proud of building. I'll tell you what kind of got the network kind of the notoriety around the city. The first year we had the network, we did something called the Wavies. So I gave out awards for shows on the network. So it'd be like most downloads, perfect attendance, like who came every day, was never late, best studio wardrobe, just awards for us. But it was it was a dinner. We had a dinner, a good time. But it was more so for us as a team to celebrate within. But that made everybody around the city want an award for podcasting. So people start reaching out. The network kind of went from I want to say like 4 to 5 shows to maybe 20 by that summer, which was it was incredible. But that was like kind of that project where I was like, oh wait, this was just something to show people my appreciation to them. Like I want to show my love and appreciation for the people who believed in me and took a chance on me. And it turned out to like really benefit us as a whole in totality.
Wow. Well, I'm trying to remember what you did a live taping. It was downtown. I think it was inside of the old Red Wings restaurant, the
Yeah.
Hockey
Oh yeah.
Town
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah. 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 That night was a banger. That was podcast month. So they used to have they used to do a podcast month here in the city, and we kind of headlined the show. You was there that night? My bad. Listen, my memory is terrible. But so we were. That was man. So that was like probably like the pandemic pinnacle of podcasting. Like that was like that moment where it was like it was a live show. I could tell you I could feel the show itself. It was getting tense toward the end because we had 4 to 5 podcasts like going live. So people get bored. Like, like just hearing people talk, it's like you only got me for so long, bruh. So I remember taking my show and was like, look, y'all, we can't do a regular show. We can't sit here and talk to them. Like, this is why the show is going on. I'm like, we can't sit here and talk to them. People are loud. They getting bored. They getting antsy. They drinking. They trying to have fun. They trying to turn up. So I was just like, come on, just follow my lead. And
No, I actually I remember that.
so I told him like just follow my lead, and we did like Black national anthems. We did like a little verses. It was like Jay-Z versus Drake. It was a bunch of like little things, but it was music. It was music. So people giving us songs. We having a party. People dancing. It was one of those moments where it was just like I was so tired after that, but it went off without a hitch. But it was like, oh, that was draining. Like that was crazy. But that was one of them nights though. That was one of them nights where it was like, oh no, this is where it's at.
So you technically y'all were the original verses.
No, it's a what's my man's name on Mixed Name 2.3? He used to do
Oh
four
yeah,
top
yeah, yeah, yeah.
stations.
I know what you're
Come on
talking
now.
about. Yeah, I listened to
Yeah,
him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. On
my
Saturday
dad.
nights. Yep.
Yep, my dad and my stepdad. I grew up on that type of vibe where it was like, if I'm in the car with one of them on a Saturday night, that's what they playing. It's like,
Yeah.
can't think of my man's name, but he the original verses. I always want to give him
True.
credit. I'm gonna find his
That's
name
true.
out too.
And I can't believe it. It'd come to me. But yes, I listen to
Yeah,
him also whenever I'm actually out and about on Saturday evenings.
he
Because
still
for
come
whatever
on.
reason, I don't know. Yeah. It still comes on.
I need to call dog. He the original OG.
It still comes on. Yep. All right. So we have the highs. Now we gotta talk about some of the lows. So with anything, when you're launching anything, when you're pursuing anything, I know that there comes a time where you almost want to just say, was it even worth it? Or should I even continue to do this, right? Was there ever a moment for you where you were like, you know what? I think I just want to just chill on this for a minute. Like I don't know if I want to do this right now.
Yep. I got three. First time was pandemic. Mind you, this is like what we're doing now is becoming a new normal for people. Where it's like most of their podcasting is done virtually. So for me as a person with a studio, I was used to the hands-on experience of it. I was used to giving people coaching in person. A lot of it changed like toward the pandemic, where it was just like it went one to more videos, and then also just people just stopped wanting to use the studio. So that was the first one. The second one, the studio got broken into. I want to say it was 2023, and I lost like mostly all our equipment was stolen. So it was like bro, I'm like kind of that feeling I was telling you, where it's like I could be done and be okay with this. I felt that I've accomplished what I needed to accomplish, and it was just like, okay, let me kind of take my hands away. We had to go fund me, we raised our money back, we got everything back. God bless. Like I'm very thankful. Blessed. The third one, I would say it's been kind of ebb and flowing of ongoing. I would say it's like, damn, like there are so many advances in podcasting, and people want set design, and people want different furniture and different, and it's like I want to try to appease everybody, but some of it is it's just a lot. Like it's a lot having running a studio these days. Do I still have love for podcasting? Absolutely. The studio aspect, the business aspect of it can sometimes get daunting, where like just having the space and running the space, it's challenging sometimes, like I want to get new cameras and new mics. Stuff is expensive, so but you need to keep up with the time, so it's just like a always ever evolving, ever going thing. Those three were the three moments that come to mind originally. Do I think that I don't think it's I think I'm coming out of it because it's things I want to do, but it's just time. Like it's like we talked about it, kids and husband life. It gets busy where it's just like I can't just let my creative juices just flow all day every day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but no, we're on the other side of it. But yeah, it got, I won't say dark like in the like not like that, but just like creatively dark, where it's just
Mm.
like how you turn the light off and just like I don't know if I'm gonna open this podcast door again. But
No, I
I would
understand.
say like the people I work with, the things the people I come across still keep me motivated, keep me in it. I'm trying to find. I need me a new creative project to absorb, and then we got something.
Okay. There were things that I wanted to talk about that eventually I was like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. Cause I know my podcast was centered around navigating grief and anxiety and stuff, but in the beginning it wasn't. It was just
Yeah.
kicking it with friends, shooting the breeze, whatever, and then stuff starts to happen and I was like, okay, I think I actually really want to structure my show, but then again, working in education, one of the most toxic environments to work in is education. I just want to put that out there, unfortunately.
I used to be a
Um,
teacher. I was a
huh,
teacher for 8 years.
yeah,
I was a teacher for 8 years. Yeah.
0 out of 10 wouldn't recommend.
I didn't mind education. I I don't like the business of it. Like the
That's what it
business
is.
of
Yeah,
education. Yeah, the business of education gets real tricky for me, where it's like the kids don't really matter, and
you
it's
know.
like, and I learned that especially in the pandemic. So it was like I also never really cared for my subject matter. Well, that's just me. I like I didn't. We talked about. I used to talk about student situations. Like, hey, this kid tried to swing on me. I taught high school too, so it's just like y'all can hear the story about y'all kids if y'all want to. I'm telling my truth. Like I'm telling what happened to me. So I never really let it but like interfere with business because that was also some of the peak years of podcasting for me and that's also why I chose the profession. I get off at 3 o'clock. What you mean? Like the studio's open 4 to 10. Like
Lucky you.
so, yeah, it worked out for me.
It did not work out for me. I would go to the school by 6:45, and I would get off by like 5:30.
That's crazy.
And I was teaching dance, and I was teaching middle school
Why
the
you
reading,
getting off
writing, and
so late?
comprehension.
Why you getting off so late? You gotta walk out. Like your legs work. Like, you
No,
just gotta
like literally, and I was doing an after school program. Um,
see.
but
But they get you.
yeah, and then the performances, because I was the specialty teacher, I had to be there for the performances. Was I getting paid for those? Absolutely not. So then there were times where I was leaving at 8 p.m. So okay, I've gotten to the school 6:45 and I'm leaving at 8 p.m. and I'm not getting paid for these performances.
You know what that's called? A stipend. I know how
Mhm.
it works now. You can stipend me out. They stipend everybody else out. You get coaches get stipends. Like everybody get a stipend for something. You just gotta. It's like a school. It's a finesse.
Oh
That
yeah.
was the original. It's like it's a finesse. I coached everything, and never stayed for no practices. I showed up for the games. All right, y'all, just go out there and have fun.
But I also feel like, especially
Well,
because
you different though. You a dancer too though, so it's like your craft. It's like it's
but
in there.
I am a female working in the educational system, and I feel like the odds are not always in our favor, especially if you work at a charter school affiliated with a black church, and nobody talks about that. So
I
I'm gonna
worked
put
at
it
a
out
church. It
there.
wasn't really with a black church. Dog, that's
It's
damn.
very
That makes sense.
specific. So I will say this. Um, we all know that men are pretty much the priority, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But men
Especially
are
black
the
men.
center of everything as far as service. And we are the servants. We are constantly serving, right? And we're pretty much told to be seen and not heard in so many words, right? So for
Mm-hmm.
me, especially knowing me and knowing who I am, I'm a nice person until I'm not a nice person. But I'm also very transparent and I expect things to go a certain way, especially when I worked in corporate higher education. I worked for myself as a contractor. Um, I've done everything. So for me, if there are things that I do not agree with, don't ask me for my honest opinion because I'm going to give you my honest opinion. But with
Mm-hmm.
that was seen as me being the aggressive black woman a lot of the time. And that's not where I was coming from. I was just coming from a place of, hey, listen, I don't have an issue with working with men. Men are not the problem. And women aren't
Mm-hmm.
always the problem, but it's the centering. We need to decenter men
Yeah.
when we work in educational facilities. Because one thing I'm gonna say is this: we were getting less food than the men. They were getting
Less
double
food.
servings. They were getting double servings. We were getting the servings of the children when we would go and get food. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
The
no,
men
that's
were
crazy.
they were allowed to get seconds, and we had to wait. Like, what
Where
sense does
did
that
you?
make? I eat too. I eat good too.
You worked at a crazy establishment then. Like I ain't never heard that.
But at the end of the day, I mean, if half of your staff walk out in the middle of the summer, then that should say something about your educational facility. But I digress.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, it wasn't the children, even though the children and the parents and administration, could be a lot sometimes. And I noticed that too
Yeah.
after a while. And that's why I said I am going to remove myself because I do not like
Mm.
how these children are being labeled as a dollar sign and not
Yeah.
taking their education as seriously as I'm taking it, right? But yeah, but that's a loss. Detroit has a deep history of building movements through sound, Motown, techno, hip hop, and all of that. Now, I know you mentioned something earlier about how when you all did the live show, and like I said, I remember this happening where you kind of had to deviate from like the regular plan instead of doing just like all talking. But how do you find inspiration from some of the music here in the city, and how do you incorporate that into your shows when you're producing them?
That's crazy you asked. The the like the base of Audio Wave Network was always like Motown. Like
Mm.
that's where I seen it as. It's like, no, I'm gonna build this house. Not necessarily like the actual house, but I'm gonna build this facility, this place where we cranking out podcasts from all different areas, talking about all different things of culture and relevance. So that's where like that, like I felt like Barry Gordy in those earlier years, like that 2016, 17, 18, 19, like that was the formative years of like what I felt like Audio Wave was comparable to Motown. Like really taking people who and discovering talent, discovering talent just voice wise, whereas people like, oh no, I never thought I could podcast like this, and they were really successful. So that was kind of that's how I drew from that a lot, and then just the grit, like the actual grit of our current music and that hustle, like it's to podcast successfully and and navigate fields where celebrities are. I'll say celebrities have a little bit of an unfair advantage from this standpoint. You're a name. You already have a name. All you're doing is attaching a mic to it. If you want to build like your listeners or anything, you have to go out and get them. A lot of times people live in the click pieces of podcasts where it's just like, oh no, I'm gonna clip all these questions up and I'm gonna put them all on Instagram. It's like, all right, well, why would I listen to your podcast? Like you put it all out on Instagram in clips. What did I not understand? What did I not receive from you? The hustle part of no, I'm saying yeah, the hustle part of like today's music was what I kind of would tie to.
And that I can appreciate that because I feel like you definitely treated a lot of your shows one kind of like a radio show, but also the the process of podcasting like you treat it like an art, right? And I have to say this to you because I mean technically I'm not the originator of a podcast that talks to cultural artists. I feel like you will be the originator, right? Here in the city. And I can't I can't take credit for creating a podcast that talks to cultural artists because you did that first. And I feel like I got to give you your flowers, right? And because you've done it for so long, like who am I to sit here and say, oh, I mean, I was the first to know. JG was the first to put a lot of cultural
I
artists.
wouldn't even.
Uh-huh.
That's not even something that I would necessarily take credit for because I'm sure it might have been somebody before me. Like the radio shows and how they did interviews could have been before me. I think more so than anything, I just wanted to talk to I wanted to talk to people, be a platform for people that need to get a message out. Like it was more so of like you promote something, come through. Like let's talk. Like let's kick it. Let's have a conversation. Like let's. I'm not looking at it. I wasn't necessarily looking at it as I'm doing these interviews. It was like our podcast was not interview based, but I knew one thing I knew about podcasting early on. This kind of goes back to the hustle piece. Is if people are already following your podcast and your platform, and they see you come on my podcast and platform, they're gonna come listen. So, like, if people when people come on your show to be interviewed or things like that, they're bringing a crowd of people, a following of people with them. Now, it's your job as the podcast host to get those people to stay. So, how
Right.
can I get those people to be like, that was a great interview? Who are these guys? Let me go back and listen again. Let me listen to something else they did. That's where I kind of learned the you bring people on not only to like for them to have a good time, but you bring people on so that they can like join in on the actual conversation and pushing your podcast forward naturally without they get something, you get something in return, but they don't even know it for real. Like they just think like, oh no, that was a great time. I had a great conversation with them, but it's like, all right, now you're gonna bring an audience with you. My job is to keep that audience. audience, and to
Right.
keep that, like, even if I only keep two people that know, that know Gabby, it's like I'm taking these two people. All right, when are we doing the interview again? Because I want to make sure we grab two more people, then two more people. And that's how you naturally grow your audience and your following.
I feel that. And like I said, I'm still gonna give you your flowers because you was the originator for podcasting. So take it. No. But what I was about to say. So now enjoy in person, but I enjoy virtual. What is your preference when you do
In
any
person,
podcast interview in person?
I would say in person. In person because I feel like I understand virtual and I completely understand virtual. It can happen anywhere. I prefer in person because typically, if I'm doing an interview, I'm always gonna usually tell somebody like, "Hey, we could do it at my studio." I thought I told you that too, but it's like but I know your podcast is virtually natural, so I don't never just offer like, "Hey, you want to record in the studio?" It's like, bro, no, like I'm used to showing this box of my head, like I don't need to be in the studio, so it's but I like being in the studio. I like, Mike's headphones. Like, let's really talk. Like, because it's a different body language when we sitting across from each other as opposed to like on screen. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're still at home. Like, so it's like you're still in mommy mode. You're still in wife mode. It's like you're still in these zones where it's like you can't really cut it off. Where
Yeah,
I think your interview with me may be different if you were sitting right here. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Like your energy and your focus might be different. I love the virtual. I love the ease of virtual. Like I did an interview. I got an interview scheduled for someone in Atlanta. It's like I think it's in 2 months, but it's like that's something that I'll do virtually. Like I don't really want to just fly to Atlanta for one podcast interview, but if it was worth my time, I would for sure go do the interview in person. But I'm more of a in person. Yeah.
But the in person energy, I agree with you as far as like really breaking bread with somebody in person and like watching them react to certain not conversations, but like questions and stuff, and getting that real in real life or in real time interaction. It does help with the interview process also because you can also feel how organic the interview is going. And some virtual interviews, like it depends. If it's a good interview, it's a good interview. But you do have some interviews where you like, y'all could have kept that. It didn't even. This could have been an email. If you can impart any wisdom for any aspiring podcaster or current podcaster, what would you tell them?
It's always simple with me. Like when it comes to like the inspiring podcasters, it's just start. Like those two words, just start. I don't like however you got to start, just do it. Like because creatives in general, whatever your creative passion is that you like, I want to start doing this. I want to be a social media manager. Just start. Like start somewhere. Start. Like it's like that's the base. Like people will wait. People have the tendency to wait for perfection. Like, oh no, I need this. No, I need this. I can't start because I don't have a logo done. I can't start because I ain't get a microphone. I can't start because I don't have a co-host. It's just start. I swear it'll all fall together. We started NWP with a word art. Like it was a black screen and we erased with like I'm talking about word art. This is not Canva. This is word art. Like so imagine if with a word art logo and a camcorder as a microphone. We put out, I want to say, up to date, we put out probably 265 episodes. Like it built a podcast network that produced close to probably 10,000 podcast episodes. So it's like that, like if I waited to start until we had a microphone or a logo or a net, we would have never started. None of this would have ever happened. The original Audio Wave logo was a post-it note. It wasn't. I rolled with that. It wasn't, we. I'm a big component of just figure it out. Like if you hit go, everything else will fall into play. And then for the people that are currently podcasting, keep going. Like run your race. Run your race. Like don't look over to see what the people next to you doing. Run your race. I promise you, you're winning in your race. It's nobody that can beat you. It's nobody that can defeat you in that race. Just run your race.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
JB.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh. It has definitely been a pleasure sitting down and breaking bread with you. Like I said, I know we haven't talked in a long time. And brother, the pie father. I like I said, I take my wig off to you because you have been consistent. You've been consistent and you've done this for so long. And a lot of people will waver. A lot of people will say, I can't do this. I can't do it. It's too much.
Listen,
Um,
it gets tough. It gets tough.
it gets tough. But when I remember seeing a post you made and you was like 10 years. Wow. And I was like, damn, you really been doing this for 10 years. That's you should be proud. And I know you are. Like you should be proud, but like you really should be proud of everything that you've
There's a Drake line where it says, "Ushered in a generation, and these are where my confessions live." It's like I really I take pride in being like when you keep saying pod father. It's so many people like people are just circling through my brain when you say that. It's like I gotta thank you. I gotta thank you. I gotta thank you because I'm I'm only as good as the people I work with, the shows I produce, the content I produce. I'm only as good as the people that I did it with.
well, you did that. So and you better keep doing it. You better keep doing it because
Listen,
I'm definitely gonna have
I
to.
have no plans. Yeah, I have no plans to stop. I'm really interested in. I'm interested in more people to podcast. I'm interested in. I have ideas. I've always had ideas to where I'll create these podcasts in my mind, and I just need to fill them with hosts. So it's like if anyone's ever interested in podcasting, hit me up. Like I may have an idea for you.
Hey, listen, I tried starting a network and I was going to focus solely on women and I was like, it's not that I can't do it. It's just I just don't want to do it right now. That's not my calling. And like I said, that's why I've always taken my hat off to you and I've always admired like your drive, but also just you're very simple. You're a very simple person. Like it's not too much that makes you angry. So like when you get angry, it's off putting. It's like, what did you say to him? Like what did you say to him for him to even be an angry person? Like I don't see JG as being an angry person. He was never angry to me. He was always smiling, right? But
Yeah,
but
I
yes,
can't
thank
get
you.
mad. Yeah, I can't get mad at all. No, absolutely.
It's kind of it's weird actually, like if you were to get upset. But where can we find you on social media?
You can follow me personally at Everybody Loves JG. I think they still do. If they don't, if it's somebody out there that hate me now, then let me know. You can follow the network, Audio Wave Network. Also, go to returntoidlewild.com. Please go to returntoidlewild.com. Returntoidlewild.com. July 23rd through the 26th. Come on
That's
and see
going to
us.
be fun. Oh my gosh. I remember when we did Return to Idlewild. I want to say that was 2017 or 2018 because the following year we were going to do
18. It
the
was
trip.
2018.
Yep. And I remember
Yep.
Quaku, he had to kind of like work some stuff out. But I'm so glad that it's returning. It's definitely a Black experience. And I highly recommend any Black person from the city of Detroit. If you don't do one thing, please go to this Return of Idlewild trip because I feel like it's like a family reunion. Like it's fun and it's definitely
Yeah.
for people around our age to just
Listen,
sit and just kick it.
I can't go into too many details, but we have it's about to be some we got some performances like paid performances that's lined up that's gonna take y'all back. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great time.
When are the dates for Return Out of Wild?
July 23rd. Yep, July 23rd through the 26th. Idlewild, Michigan. It's going down.
Wow. All right. Well, listen. I'm
Return
gonna
to
do my best.
Idlewild.com. Return to Idlewild.com.
Return to Idlewild.com. I remember they even had a whole song, Return to Idlewild. Like, I don't know why we made up a song for that trip. But we, like I said, it was a ball. We had a ball. And I'm definitely going to do my best to go up there, even if I got to drive
Come
up
on
there
now.
myself with my vehicle. But yes, thank you again. Thank you again
Now
for
we
sitting
got buses.
down.
We got a lot of buses. Yeah, we
Yes.
got a lot of
Oh,
buses.
okay.
You good.
I fell asleep on the bus last time, so we might have to do that. We gonna talk. Talk. Listen, we gonna talk. but again, like I said, thank you so much for even coming on the show and for sitting here and breaking bread with us. It's always love. It's always love, and it never stops. And of course, you can follow the podcast on all streaming platforms. We are everywhere now. We're not just on 3 platforms. We are officially everywhere. So shout out to the Black Podcast Awards for making sure that we were on every streaming platform. I can definitely appreciate that. Shout out to you, Demetrius. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Starving Artist Development. You can visit our website at starvingartistdevelopment.com. And of course, if you want to shoot me an email, you can shoot me an email at info@starvingartistdevelopment.com. And of course, I love kicking it with you all. I love breaking bread with everybody. And I look forward to kicking it with you all soon. Autumn, wave to the camera. Say bye.